amendment to the schools. So they have welcomed the idea, and it is very interesting that students are receiving it, and they are receiving it.
That's very good, sir. I hope you are not like being exhausted because
No. Yeah, it is always the see when you're when see two things when you're doing something that is after your heart. Number one, we have only 8 categories of sentences.
yes,
8 categories. So see the category is the word that we should use because there is no ninth category, and those 8 categories we have been discussing again and again, and you have brought them to the notice of our students again and again.
yes,
And then I wanted today to talk about certain two kinds of divisions of these sentences. See, these 8 categories of sentences, we sometimes divide them in two different ways. One is called structural division, and the other is called tonal division. So that structural division or tonal division, that doesn't give a ninth category. Categories remain the same. Total number of categories is 8. Uh, but then we have two ways of see putting them into different kinds. We should say different kinds of uh, different kinds. For example, one is called structural division. Structural division, and that of course we have been doing. Structural division is positive, negative, interrogative, negative, interrogative. So
yes,
whenever a learner has learned one category, for example, suppose a learner has learned the things category, he knows that he can use was were in the past, ism are in the present, and shall be will be in the future. So, for example, let us think of a sentence in the past. He was a farmer. He was a farmer. So this is a positive sentence, and then our learner can make a negative also. He was not a farmer. Was he a farmer?
yes.
Was he not a farmer? So
Mm.
this is called structural division of the sentence. This is called structural division.
Structure.
And here also, Neha, there is one very important point that we can make here. See, had is used as a helping verb in possession sentences. For example,
Possession.
he had a big house and he had much land. And similarly, in present we use has and have as helping verbs.
Right.
So, see, uh, when we think of had or has have as helping verbs, then there are two ways of making negative sentences. Two ways, for example.
Okay.
So when I say I have a book, so I will say I have not a book. See, simply add not to it. I
Not.
have a book. I have a book. Uh, see, this is positive. I have not a book. This is negative. Have I a book? This is interrogative. Have I not a book? This is negative interrogative. So it is as simple as that. But sometimes you will see the negative sentences in another form also. For example, the positive is I have a book. Then the negative is I do not have a book. So
Right.
do I have a book? Do I not have a book? So normally people make no the people who have already learned English, most of them, they normally use this second part of negative and interrogative constructions. For example,
Construction.
I have a book. I have a book. I do not have a book. Do I have a book? Do I
I
not have
have.
a book? So they normally use it like this. But
Yes.
what I want to tell my learners is that if they say I have not a book, have I a book or have I not a book, then they are not making any mistake. This is what I want to tell.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
Because it is a way of looking at the helping verb. If somebody looks at had, has, or have as helping verbs, he looks at them as helping verbs. So obviously he can add not to them. He had a
Yes.
book. He had not a book. Had he a book? Had he not a book? That's all.
Yes.
But sometimes,
Right.
but we know that has, have, and had are main verbs also. They are
Main
main
words
verbs
also.
also. They are main also. So if we look at these verbs in that sense, then I had a book. Then it is subject and then V2 after that. Had is the V2 of has or have. Okay. So it comes into the category of simple structures. Simple structures. So that is why then somebody can say I did not have a book. That's all. That's all. So you get my point. If you look at had as a helping verb, I had
Helping
not a
verb.
book. It is correct.
Yes.
It is right. I had not a book.
Right.
But if you look at had as V2 of has
Have.
have, and you look at the sentence as a simple sentence, so then you can say I didn't have a book. I did not have
Right.
a book. And again, here our mother tongue will help you, because this sentence, for example, जब मैं किसी को बताना चाहता हूं कि मेरे पास किताब है, तो मैं एक तो ऐसे ही कह सकता हूं कि मेरे पास किताब है, ओके, या मैं कह सकता हूं कि मैं किताब रखता हूं, मैं किताब रखता हूं, ओके. So when I say that I have a book, we have called it possession category. I have a book, and we are simply treating have as a helping verb. I have a book. I have not a book. So, but if it is taken in the second sense, के मैं किताब रखता हूँ, I have a book, then I do not have a book. Do I have a book? Do I not have a book? So I think it is very clear to our learners now. Okay, both the ways of making negatives or interrogatives are correct. Correct. So this is what I want. And again, this idea is again repeated when it comes to compulsion sentences. Neha, when it comes to compulsion.
Compulsion, yes.
In compulsion sentences also, मुझे उठना पड़ता था. I had to wake up. I had to wake up. So here I am treating had as a helping verb, and I can say I had not to wake up. Had I to wake up? Had I not to wake up? It is very rare. But for our learners in the beginning stage, we can tell them it is correct. It is correct.
Right.
But over there also, normally people make the negatives otherwise. For example, I had to wake up in the morning. I did not have to wake up in the morning. Did I have to wake up in the morning? Did I not have to? So they make the negative like they prefer to make it in the second way. Okay, but the first way is also correct. It is also. I had to wake up in the morning. I had not to wake up, or I did not have to wake up. दोनों ठीक है. So had I to wake up, or did I have to wake up? दोनों ठीक है. Or had I not to wake up, or did I not have to wake up? ये दोनों ठीक है. So this is what learners must know, that they can if they look at has, have, and had as main verbs, then add not directly to them. Okay, but if they interpret it the other way, the simple past or simple present, then they can use did not or does not. There is no problem. There is no problem. So this was one point that I wanted to clarify today. And Neha, is this point very clear to our learners?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then good. Achha, then another idea that we can discuss today is, like I'm telling you, the division of sentences. One division is structural division, and we have been doing that. And in that context, this question arose: whether to write I had not a book or I did not have a book. In that very context, we were discussing it. This is the structural division of the sentences. But then there is a tonal division of sentences also. Tonal division. So what is that division? Your tone changes and you a different kind of sentence, not category of sentence, different kind of sentence. Categories are the same. Categories are the same. Things, possession, simple, continuing, perfect, intention, compulsion, and modals. But kinds of sentence, for example, and what is this tonal division? See, we have 6 different sentences here. 6. The first kind is called assertive sentences. Assertive. And assertive sentences are statements. I am a teacher. I am a teacher. I'm not a teacher. Now, both these are statements. So both together, they make up assertive sentences. Because in one case, through a positive statement, and in the second case, through a negative statement, I am asserting a fact. I'm a teacher. This is a fact. I'm not a clerk. Again, this is a fact. So these positive and negative statements are called assertive sentences. So assertive sentences are statements. And now the second category, interrogative sentences. And in this category again, simple interrogative, am I a teacher or am I not a clerk? So simple interrogative as well as negative interrogative, both of them together, they make up interrogative sentences. Tonally speaking, for example. And you know that, so when I say that I'm a teacher, I'm not a clerk, this is one level of my tone. But when I say, am I a teacher? Am I not a clerk? So the tone changes, and we get a second category. It is called interrogative category. Okay. So up to now, so you know, our learners must have noted that the 4 kinds of structural divisions: positive, negative, interrogative, and negative interrogative, they actually together make the first 2 tonal divisions: assertive statements and interrogative questions. So These are two. See, in the tonal division of sentences, the first two kinds are assertive sentences. Definition is they are statements. And then interrogative sentences. Definition is they are questions. Okay. And then third tonal division is called imperative kind of sentences. And what are these imperative sentences? They are request, order, or
Commands. Yes.
either request or advice or order. So see, when these moods are conveyed, then we call them imperative sentences. For example, I see somebody work hard. This is an advice given in a positive manner, work advice. Or I can also say, do not shirk, do not work hard. This is a positive way of giving advice, work hard. And then I can also say, do not shirk work. This is again advice, so piece of advice. So this is advice, and then order. Somebody tells somebody, get out. This is an order. And then request is, please help me. So this is our third kind of tonal division sentence. We call them imperative, and they are either a request or a piece of advice or an order. Okay. Then fourth category. Fourth category, they are called optative sentences. OPTATIV. Optative sentences. Optative sentences are if they have either a wish or prayer. Wish or prayer sentence. For example, when I say, may you live long, may you live long. This is my wish. And when I say, may God give you long life, this is my prayer. So wish and prayer sentences together, they make up our optatives. Okay. Then fifth category is exclamatory sentences. Category is not the right word, kind. Tonally, dividing tonally, fifth kind is exclamatory sentences. So exclamatory sentences are a sudden strong the expression of sudden strong feelings. Expression of strong. For example, like I'm going my way and I suddenly look at a flower. I can say, "Oh, what a beautiful flower!" So this is an exclamatory sentence. They are the expression of sudden strong feelings. And then fifth category, so I said sixth kind in tonal division. The sixth kind is I call them let sentences. Neha, I call them let sentences. The sentences that begin with the word let. They begin with the word let, and they do two things. They are either for permission or for suggestion. They are. I give you the examples. So see, when somebody says, "Let us not take some tea," let us sit down and write something. So these are suggestions. These are suggestions. But then second, the let can be used to get or to give permission also. For example, think of a man standing outside and a boss is sitting inside. He can tell the peon, let me go in, let me go in. So this is a request, let me go in. And the authority sitting inside, he can say, let him come in. And this is an order. This is an order. Okay. So this is the tonal division of our sentences. Again, let us repeat. Okay, basically, we have those 8 categories only that we are working on. But and we can have two different kinds of division. For example, structural division, positive, negative, interrogative, negative, interrogative. And then tonal division, tone changes, and we get a new kind of sentence. Assertive, I'm a teacher. Interrogative, am I not a teacher? Imperative, get out. And then optative, may God give you long life. And then exclamative, what a beautiful flower. And then let sentences, let us not take tea, or let me go in, or let him come in. So tone, the change of tone and a new kind of sentence. So these 6 are very important. Our students, they must know that they are not categories, they are tonal. We get them when we tonally, when we change our tone to convey different kind of message. So good. So now today not only we give the idea of two kinds of division, structural and tonal. We told our learners also that there can be two versions of negative sentences. In those cases, we use has, have, or had. Okay, this. Okay, Neha, thank you very much. God bless you.